Hello fellow cinephiles. Today I'm going to continue on looking at Yorgos Lanthimos' films. Previous one that I did was Dogtooth, and today I'm going to do The Lobster. Now this film was nominated for the Academy Award for Original Screenplay, and I can see why. It's very unique and interesting ideas that he had within this film. It stars Colin Farrell, Rachel Weisz, Olivia Colman, John C. Reilly and Ben Whishaw. And it really looks at a world in the future where there are rules put in place for anyone who is single and not married or part of a relationship. Ultimately, these people are at a particular age are arrested and taken to what is known as the hotel, where they ultimately have 45 days to find a partner and get married in order to stay within the city limits. If they're unable to do that after the 45 days, then it will be turned into an animal of their choosing. And there are what they call loners who live outside of the society and outside of the city and the rules, and live within the forests of this particular place, where they have created this thing where they don't choose partners or anything. They just live together singly out in the middle of nowhere. They are constantly chased by people from the hotel in order to be turned into an animal and let free into the woods. And so it's a constant battle trying to stay safe and away from these people in order to survive. It looks at Colin Farrell's character, a desperate man who escapes the hotel and goes to live with the loners on the outskirts of town in the woods. This is where he meets Rachel Weisz's character, and they're forbidden to, but they form a relationship and become very strong and bonded together. And it's really about them trying to survive within the forest on their own means, keeping their love for each other secret, and also dodging the people from the hotel so they're not captured and turned into animals. This was a very uniquely different film, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself with it. I liked how different it was. It was sort of interesting, captivating, like Dogtooth was. It sort of threw you into this world with these strange things happening, but like Dogtooth, I just tried to go with it and accept what was unfolding in front of me. He's really looking at different themes yet again within an interesting, unique world. So he's looking at loneliness, society's rules, living on your own terms, and coming up with your own society, your own ideals and morals and ideas of what's right and what's wrong. Colin Farrell's really great in it and does a really fantastic job. So does Rachel Weisz. I think it's a really interesting concept. All the stuff that takes place at the hotel is really interesting. They don't explain how they're able to turn people into animals, but you just sort of go with that sort of aspect to the film. And it's very interesting. They take them down the corridor to a particular door, and you go through the door, and then that's sort of all you get to see, that particular character. And just the extremes that they have to go to find a partner, and the stuff that they have to put up with or endure in order to find a particular one, so they're not turned a particular person to be with, so they're not turned into an animal, is quite extreme. The loners who live out of society in the woods, all that aspect of the film is really interesting, and the fight for survival and finding love in the most obscure and strange circumstances, much like Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz's characters do within this film. There's some great ideas happening here, and he's starting to use the camera in this film, sort of cutting particular scenes together, not like Dogtooth where it's just sort of set up in one frame and things transpire within that frame. This is actually him cutting things together and shooting different angles and making a complete sort of film. And like I mentioned at the start, it was Oscar nominated in 2015, I think, or 16. And it's definitely worth being nominated for. I can understand why they nominated it. It's quite an impressively interesting film, and it's a great second film for this director Yorgos, who's really paving the way for something unique and different. And he's a filmmaker I'm starting to like more and more with each film I see. A very unique and creative voice out there, a true artist in a sense, and makes unique and different films. A lot of his films remind me of Stanley Kubrick, the way Kubrick made his films. They're all very different, unique. They're dealing with different themes. You're thrown into a unique and interesting world. And even though you're repulsed by particular things that transpire and that, you're still captivated by what's happening. And to me, this is my favorite of Yorgos's films. I really like the concept in here and the ideas he was dealing with and the way he expressed himself and evolved this film into something unique and different. I often like directors like this who are willing to do something different, and they just see things differently in the way they form their ideas and stories and the themes that they deal with. Most people would just do a drama and throw their themes in there to deal with it, but he sort of does a drama and a surprisingly different things. He'll have a simple story with something strange going on, and that's his way of expressing and exploring these themes and ideas that he has within himself. Final verdict. If you like Dogtooth, if you like Killing of a Sacred Deer, if you're interested in The Favourite, you may enjoy this film. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but if you want something unique and different, this is definitely for you. And if you want something that is dealing with particular themes and is done in a creative and uniquely different way, you might enjoy this as well. I'm going to give The Lobster 4 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Like Dogtooth, I found it very captivating and interesting, and he sucked me into a unique and very interesting world. And I was blown away by what he was able to express and show us visually on screen. Like Dogtooth, it was very shocking and surprising in parts, but there was enough there to keep me interested along the way and wanting to know more about this particular film and this world that he's created. Anyway, that's all from me today. Like I said, I'm going to continue on reviewing Yorgos's films. The next one is Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I obviously will review The Favourite once it comes out next week. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy what you've seen here. If you have, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook, and until next time, enjoy the movies.